I remember you and me before we knew our destiny. Never walked the road before, though you long to search for more.
Rule 1. Never blame malice for what can easily be explained by conceit. People don't care about you. This isn't because people are mean or hurtful, but simply because they are mostly focused on themselves. 60% of thoughts are self-directed. Another 30% are directed towards relationships, but how they affect me. Only 10% in this model is time spent in empathy. Empathy is a rare event where one person actually feels the emotions, problems and perspective of another person. Generally, the hurt you feel is a side effect, not the principal cause.
We're like fire in the rain.
Rule 2. Few social behaviors are explicit. Basically, this rule means that most of the intentions behind our actions are hidden. The old joke is that people use words like fine and go ahead when they really feel the opposite. The application of this rule is that you need to focus on empathy, not just hearing a person. The other application of this rule is that most of the time you feel something, nobody else knows about it. If you deceive your thoughts with your actions, don't get angry when you fool people.
When the night's begun,
Rule 3. Behavior is largely dictated by selfish altruism. Selfish altruism is basically win-win. It is where helping you directly or indirectly helps me. How do you apply this rule? You understand the motives of people and appeal to them as if they were selfish. Don't expect people to offer aid outside of selfish altruism. It is not impossible, but it is not likely.
like fire in the rain.
Rule 4. People have poor memories. Another rule of human behavior is that people have trouble remembering things, especially information that doesn't apply to themselves. People are more likely to remember your similarities than your differences. We are forgetful by nature, so once again, don't assume malice or disinterest if something is forgotten.
Rule 5. Everyone is emotional. People tend to have stronger feelings about something than they let on. The application of this rule is to not assume everything is fine just because someone isn't having a nervous breakdown. We all have our individual problems, angst and upsets that are normally contained. Being sensitive to those underlying currents gives you an advantage in trying to help.
Rule 6. People are lonely. It is amazing how many people who seem to have it all suffer from bouts of loneliness. As social animals, people are especially sensitive to any threats to becoming ostracized. In Neanderthal times, exile meant death, so loneliness and the desire to be with other people is a strong one.
'Cause when the evening comes, we're like fire in the rain. When the night's begun, our desire heals the pain. And the dreams we share, they are never gonna fade. It's because of love we're standing here today. We're like fire in the rain. Like fire in the rain.